Alright, hey everyone, this is Alyssa and I am just doing my final project part B, my personal growth evaluation, and I kind of want to start way back at the beginning. And one of the first things that we did was evaluating those facial expressions, and I really found that to be a huge icebreaker for me. A lot of them I could get, but there was a few that I put into a sheet of paper here that I really needed to work on, evaluating what the client was really saying through their eyes, through their mouth, through their facial expressions. It's something that I will hold on with me for a long time, something that I will continue to use and continue to grasp. From there, we worked on our Genograms, and that was something that I had been doing for a while now. I work in a chemical dependency treatment center. I am an LADC counselor, and one of the first things I do with every client is Genograms, and so I was familiar with the Genogram system. However, I had never thought to place just describing words with the person, and I think that that's something that I'm going to continue to do. I've been utilizing this at work, and it's been something that really helps me with clients and with relationships with family. We also can use this to really evaluate where a client is at with each person and each relationship and what we need to dig deeper in and work on. Right after that assignment, we worked on our first introduction, and that was really tough for me. For something that I do for a living, I interview clients, I talk to them, I am able to do initial sessions, treatment planning, discharge, one-on-one sessions. I do that as a living, and I cannot do it on here. I wasn't able to. I had a really tough time interviewing somebody that I knew, and that was what was more tough for me, I think, is having somebody in front of you that you know, and that's where I needed to really work on things. I started interviewing younger children as part of this class because I was very uncomfortable, and that was something that I really grew in and worked really hard to overcome. Sorry about that. My children are right over here, so I apologize. One of the next things that we had done is moved a little bit further in November 21st to the 27th week, and really did dig in a bit deeper than just the introduction phase. And we worked on different tasks and adding into our introductions. So something that I have written down here is exercising my ability to ask more questions and gain more details and redirect. I know that the first time I interviewed the smaller child, I had a hard time redirecting her to just answering the question and moving on. As the class went on, though, I was able to redirect better. I was able to ask more questions that were needed to come to a conclusion, and I was also more comfortable in those situations. One of the things I have highlighted on my computer here was what were the patterns of behavior I noticed through the history of the client's story. The reason I highlighted that was because I was having a really hard time remembering to get the full history and not just the current emotions. And so that's something I really have gained through this program, is just being able to really gain some deeper insight and be able to do a full assessment rather than just an interview. The next week was the beginning of December, and I think that was a really critical week for a lot of us. Is the taking a whack at hunches, and I have written down that hunches were really hard for me. I tend to be an overthinker and an overanalyzer, and so something that I really gained was just slowing down and just what's laid out there is what I have. Not analyzing, not critiquing, and not overthinking. So one of the highlighted ones that I wrote down in my profile or my portfolio this week was that I need, let me just see, how would I confirm my hunches? What would I say to a client to check on my hunches? And I really worked on this at home and at work, instead of saying, so what you're saying is, I've learned some other sayings that have really helped me maintain and understand ERs and hunches better. The next thing that I wrote down was just really understanding how to gain ERs. Early recollections for me were really easy to hear, able to really gain a lot from them, but how do I get what I need without too much? And this is a common theme for me throughout this class, is that I had a really tough time with redirecting younger children. In my grown profession, I am working with adults. So children for me were a little bit more tough, more difficult to redirect, and something that I highlighted was really just making sure that I redirect when needed and I just gain needed information. The next week, which would have been last week, the week before, sorry, the last week of our class, for me was probably the best and the most influential one, because in the book that week I was able to really work on interviewing techniques and what Adler and Adlerian style gains for us and helps us with. And the two that I found most influential were establishing a therapeutic relationship with the client and using early recollection as part of the lifestyle assessment. Within Adlerian therapy, I have found that it really is necessary to develop a super strong positive therapeutic alliance with the client. I've been able to learn a lot through this class and how to do that. Some things to ask, icebreaker questions, how is the weather, do you like the Vikings, that kind of stuff. And then in addition to that, adding in those early recollections into the lifestyle assessment. This class for me was super helpful, super beneficial. I have learned more in this class than I have this far in my master's program, which was really, really great for me. I found a lot through this class that was helpful for my personal life and my professional career. And let me just make sure I got everything in here. Oh, and two strengths that I have helped me is, again, the redirecting and adding a therapeutic alliance. And with my clients, really just remembering that there's not that trust there when they walk in the door all the time, and that I need to make them feel comfortable. The other thing is that what areas do I need to grow in? I need to grow in comfort with every diverse population, and then I need to grow in understanding that the lifestyle assessment and just memorizing it so that I don't always have to go off notes or go off of a script. I want to be able to just naturally flow with the client. So I am so happy that I was able to work with each of you in this class. It was so great for me and my learning experience, and I can't wait for what the future will hold for all of us. So thank you.